In 1984, audiences gasped, and not just because Gene Wilder's new comedy was funny. The Woman in Red delivered a blink and you'll miss it full frontal nude scene from Kelly LeBrock, a debut that catapulted her from high fashion model to Hollywood sensation overnight. But here's the twist. LeBrock later wished she'd never done it. The moment was splashed across office gossip, earned her an instant sex symbol label, and made the film infamous. Yet behind the sultry red dress and whirlwind fame was a young woman who would soon turn her back on the Hollywood machine. How did a playful Wilder farce, inspired by Marilyn Monroe's most iconic screen moment, lead to LeBrock's only nude scene and a complete life reset? Wilder adapted the script from the French hit Pardon mon affaire, trading Parisian romance for the breezy hills of San Francisco. He cast himself as Teddy Pierce, a friendly, dependable ad man with a loving wife, 2 kids, and a daily commute that could put an insomniac to sleep. Then, one ordinary morning in the company's underground parking garage, Teddy's life changes. In the dim light of the underground garage, Teddy spots her, a tall, striking brunette gliding between parked cars in a flowing red silk dress. As she reaches a metal exhaust vent set into the floor, a rush of air blasts upward, catching the fabric and sending it billowing high in a perfect Marilyn Monroe moment. The gust reveals her long, toned legs and a flash of red panties. Instead of hurrying away, she loops back with a mischievous smile, deliberately stepping over the vent again, dancing in place and laughing as the dress flutters wildly. Teddy can only stare, stunned and speechless, as if the entire world has stopped just to stage this vision in front of him. The moment plays like cinematic lightning, complete with slow-motion hair toss, and it's enough to jolt Teddy from mild-mannered dad into a man on a mission. What follows is a catalog of comedic desperation. Teddy invents excuses to linger near her building, stages fake, accidental meetings, and ropes in his friends, played by Charles Grodin, Joseph Bologna, and Michael Huddleston, for moral support that quickly spirals into chaos. There's Grodin's brilliant deadpan as Buddy, giving terrible advice with total conviction, Bologna as the overconfident Joey, and a side plot involving Huddleston's character in full drag. One highlight has Grodin hiding under a desk while his jealous wife bursts in, a sequence Wilder milks for every possible beat. Gilda Radner as Teddy's co-worker, Miss Milner, is a standout, sweet, earnest, and slightly lonely. Teddy's misguided belief that she might be romantically interested leads to an excruciatingly awkward lunch date, a scene that perfectly blends Wilder's knack for cringe comedy with Radner's impeccable timing. Wilder's directing style was deceptively simple: long takes, precise pauses, and just enough realism to make the absurdity feel possible. Beneath the laughs, he's poking at the idea of midlife restlessness, temptation, and the grass is greener fantasy. Off camera, Wilder's own love life was blooming. He and Radner had first met on Hanky Panky in 1982. By the time The Woman in Red was on its press tour in France, the two had quietly married, away from the Hollywood spotlight. Their marriage became one of the industry's most beloved and most heartbreaking stories, ending when Radner died of ovarian cancer in 1989. Then there's the soundtrack. Stevie Wonder not only composed the film's entire score, but also wrote and performed I Just Called to Say I Love You. The track was irresistible, topping charts in 19 countries, becoming the best-selling single of Wonder's career, and winning an Academy Award for Best Original Song. Its warm, romantic vibe was the perfect counterbalance to Teddy's bumbling escapades. And then came the scene that sparked endless Monday morning water cooler chatter. Teddy finally makes it to Charlotte's apartment, and after playful conversation, LeBrock steps out from the bedroom in the nude, a quick full frontal shot that caught audiences off guard. It's over in seconds, but became a defining image of the film. LeBrock later said she had been persuaded to do it, but almost instantly regretted the decision, resolving never to film another nude scene. The apartment itself was a nod to cinema history. Located at 1000 Mason Street in San Francisco's North Beach, it was the same building where Kim Novak's Madeline lived in Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo. Wilder, a lifelong Hitchcock admirer, loved the idea of using an iconic location for his own twist on romantic obsession. Casting could have gone differently. Melanie Griffith was originally offered the role of Charlotte, but chose to star in Body Double instead, another 1984 film with eyebrow-raising sensuality. The marketing for The Woman in Red leaned heavily on its Monroe homage, the famous subway grate scene from The 7-Year Itch, reimagined with scarlet silk instead of white, a parking garage breeze instead of subway steam. That image dominated posters alongside the cheeky tagline warning that Teddy's quest for excitement might just backfire. For Kelly LeBrock, the role was the culmination of a dream career pivot. Born in New York and raised in London, she entered the modeling world at just 16. By 19, she was one of Ford Model's top names, gracing the covers of Vogue and Cosmopolitan, securing a Dior contract, and shooting in Paris, Milan, and New York. She became a household name in the U.S. thanks to her Pantene shampoo ads, where she delivered the line, "Don't hate me because I'm beautiful," a phrase that followed her for years. After The Woman in Red, LeBrock embraced Hollywood stardom with Weird Science, 1985, playing another fantasy woman, this time conjured up by 2 teenage boys and a home computer. She later starred opposite her then-husband Steven Seagal in Hard to Kill, 1990, but the constant attention and tabloid glare were never her style. Following her divorce, she left the industry, moving to a sprawling California ranch where she raised her 3 children without television or internet. Horses replaced limousines, and mornings were for chores, not call times. She's reappeared occasionally, guest roles, independent films, and reality TV spots, but always on her terms. She's also used her platform for charitable work, particularly in health awareness campaigns. Still, she's made it clear she prefers a quiet rural life to Hollywood's relentless pace. 4 decades on, The Woman in Red stands as a fizzy, unmistakably 80s blend of slapstick, romance, and pop soundtrack charm. The red dress moment remains a pop culture snapshot, the making of Kelly LeBrock and the pivot point that sent her down a very different life path. Teddy's misadventures still land with anyone who's ever chased a temptation they knew was trouble. And Stevie Wonder's song still feels like a warm hug in musical form. Now it's time to hear from you. Do you think Kelly LeBrock's scene was worth the hype? Comment below and don't forget to subscribe for more wild stories from the classics.